Hey, Empress Vibrant here. Hope everybody is bliss. Welcome one and all. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves. They've had a wonderful half term, Easter holidays, and those who have just been getting down with their own healing and renewal. Well done. Keep going. I know it has not been no joke. However, it's been a great time of renewal. A lot of things coming to the surface. Some not so great, however brilliant for observation. So yeah, I'm in constant observation mode, reviewing situations, people, places and things, who I need to become, the characteristics that I need to have in order to be who I want to become, and I'm becoming somebody who is very confident, and is ready to lead and to be focused, and to work through these triggers, because boy are there many, and it's about being kind and gentle with ourselves in this time. So today I want to do a pick a card. I want to do it on the effects of the full moon. What is it that you're working through, and what will you continue to work through throughout the rest of this month, until that new moon, where we review how we felt, what's happened, what's happened in the shift, what changes have been made. So yes, without any further ado, I'm going to put the cards on the screen. It's 1, 2 or 3. Okay, so pick 1, 2 or 3, and yeah, let's get into it. So group 1. So group 1, let's see what is going on for you guys. So we have new moon in Virgo. Trust all is well. Trust all is well. And what I'm hearing around this, it's a lot to do with your grounding. So maybe there is an element where you feel a bit up in the air, not particularly comfortable with what's coming up, not particularly comfortable with what you're seeing in and around your surroundings, but trust all is well. Trust that you will know the right actions to take when you need to. You will get those intuitive nudges, and your powers of discernment are now turning up. So be very mindful that you will have that thought, that feeling, and you are to listen to that. That is your divine protection. That is your divine heads up. So trust all is going to be well, especially for those who are, this is an earth sign, so we're talking about Virgo here. So I feel as though it's all of the earth signs at this time, going through different kind of variations of having to trust the process, especially those who are not seeing exactly what's going on and what the outcome's going to be, but trusting that, what, Source Divine has got me covered. I'm nervous, yes, I've got anxiety in my tummy, but hear what it is, I'm going to continue moving anyway. So I'm really happy to see this, and I know that it's not easy when you're not seeing the end in sight, and there's a lot of things to deal with, but trust will all be well. All of these triggers are coming up so that you can look out for them, you can observe, you can make different choices when they come up. It's about not being reactive, So let's see what other energies is coming out. So what is going on for group 1? We've got the 4th chakra. The energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. So I say again, the 4th chakra. Okay. So the energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. So I feel as though, look at this, we've got a lot of green energy, a lot of earth. So I feel again with this earth sign energy going on where, in the heart of it, you want things to go well. Even with relationships that seem to be a bit rocky at the moment, in your heart of hearts, you want to love deeply, you want to show compassion, you want to show that care. But also you must trust in the process, that if you are not feeling well in a situation, you don't feel celebrated, there doesn't seem to be much growth there, then trust that all will be well when you step out of the situation. When you leave that situation behind, or leave those people behind, you can still leave them with love. You have a huge ability to love and care, and sometimes it may not come off that way for some of you. Some people feel like you might be a bit controlling sometimes, but it's all because of your love, your fierce love. So fiercely love those from the background. There's nothing wrong with that. Love deeply from a distance. Send that love, send that prayer, that affirmation for those who you truly care about, and trust that all will be well with them. Your absence won't totally derail them, rather it will show people how to stand in their own truth and step into their full power, and that will allow you to step into your full power, not having so many people, places and things to think about, to consider. Yeah, so let's see what's going on with finances. What's going on there, because we know emotionally, we know that spiritually we're dealing with having to trust. Emotionally we are dealing with the fact that our heart is telling us all types of scenarios. It's giving us nudges, intuitive nudges that sometimes we don't really want to listen to, especially if we are feeling compassionate, or we're feeling as though we don't want to lose any more relationships. I've heard that a few times, like if I lose any more people, am I going to have anyone? And trust in the process, trust all will be well, trust that the right people will come in at the right time. So let's see what the abundance angels have got. Windfall of abundance. Oh, that's lovely. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving, and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health and charitable work. You see what I mean about that heart space? You want to care, you want to do things, and you just have to find the balance in that, in both things, whether it's trust in the process that you need to take an action that is moving towards somebody, or even walking away from, because you do have a windfall of abundance coming in. So there is money, there is support, and it's coming in many forms. So it's not just monetary, but you'll be abundant in your powers of discernment. You'll be abundant in the love that you receive and give. Things will just come through seamlessly, and you'll see your spirit team come up when you need it. Sometimes it will be unexpected, but know that there is a windfall of abundance coming in, which I'm loving. I'm going to read that one more time because I just love the messages on this card. Windfall of abundance. An increase of abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving, and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health and charitable work. I absolutely love that. Okay, beautiful. So let's see what's being activated within you. So we know that spiritually we are trusting. We are being tested. We're feeling as though I'm not sure what to do, but you're being asked to trust. Trust that all will be well. Trust your gut. Your heart will be giving you all the intuitive nudges that you need. So listen to that. Heal that heart space. I know that a lot of you are feeling a lot of heaviness at the moment, but with that windfall of abundance, that will be lifted. You'll see the wood through the trees. You'll be able to see an end in sight. You'll be able to be more specific about the goals, especially if you are able to do the review of what you wrote in your new moon intentions, and then you'd be so much more clearer on what needs to be done and at what time. So let's see what's being activated. We've got loyalty. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. Loyalty, your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. So again, and I feel like that's what's coming up as well. I feel like for some of you, you feel like, oh, you may not be loyal if you let certain people go, you know. And I think in your heart space, it's about knowing who to be loyal to first. And first and foremost, you need to be loyal to yourself. Make sure that you're giving from, you know, a cup that is full. And for those who are just wanting to fill that heart space, again, you know, that green energy, you know, this is definitely an earth sign vibe going on here, you know, bit of blue, possibly some air sign as well here. So a lot of thinking, but a lot of feeling, you know, and I feel as though those who are compassionate and feeling as though they want to, you know, to keep connecting and loving and showing up for people, then yeah, do so. Like I said, your intuitive nudges will become so much more clearer. So you need not to be so much in your head about it, you know. So yeah, show up, you know, those who you feel to show up for, and show up for yourself first and foremost. But that consistency shows people the care that you have. You've got vision. No matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving, just universe. Yeah, see, you've got a lot of heart, you know, you've got a lot of love to give, and you do. You see things going well. You see people being abundant as well. You see people prosperous, healthy, happy, and things being just, you know, and you see that for yourself, and you see that for the wider community. And I think your role in it is to say the right thing at the right time, and to be there, and, you know, to be a safe space. So I'm glad that you're holding that vision, because I think that vision is what allows you not to be jaded, you know. And then lastly, we've got release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving force of the universe. So again, we are releasing. You're releasing any fears, doubt and worries around the things we need to do, the shifts that are happening within us. And we know that it's time to let go of the things that don't serve. It may feel very, very nerve-wracking, but you are working towards being able to release with love, and feeling better about it. You know, you hold the vision, you know, that things are going to be in a different space, you know, and your loyalty to those around you is being seen on so many levels. So show up for yourself first and foremost, but show up for those around you. Trust the process, you know, trust all will be well, you know. Use your heart space as the guide, not so much always in the mind, because we know that the mind can play tricks. It's not necessarily factual, you know, but your heart is really the most powerful organ, and that's the space that you should be making your decisions around. That's why your heart space is being shown to you here, and it's definitely a time to activate your heart chakra. If there are any blockages around giving and receiving of love, because I feel like many of you want to, but I think due to some of the stuff that's coming up, there's a lot of things that are being released or need to be released in order for you to move fully from that heart space. So be gentle with yourself, group one, and just keep going, because you've got a lot of beautiful things going on for you. You take care now. Blessings. Group 2, what's going on for you? So let's see. We've got last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. Okay, so group 2, work through your feelings. And I'm sure that this full moon has been a bit of a humdinger. I think the reason why it's been quite difficult, group 2, is that you've held quite a lot of these feelings inside. You've not wanted to ruffle any feathers. You've not wanted to cause any kind of rift in the energy. And as commendable as that is, you've been drinking poison. And it's not been great for your insides, you know. I feel you've been swallowing more than you should. Work through those feelings where you feel as though those around you can't manage. Maybe you're too peppery, too fiery. We have this Aries energy, so it's like fire sign energy. So maybe you feel like, maybe I'm a bit too peppery. Maybe I'm not, maybe they can't manage what I have to say. But this energy is telling you to work through it. Observe what you're feeling. Work out what it is that's actually going on. What's factual? What's feeling? And then address it. In this time, this full moon energy is a great time to address those things, working through those feelings, as uncomfortable as it is at times. Trust me, I know. It's helpful, so I would say be gentle with yourself throughout this particular time, but be also open to what your feelings are telling you. Because they're not there for no reason. They're there to give you a nudge in the right direction, the actions to take, who you need to be moonwalking back from, people, places and things, what you need to be backing up from, putting yourself to the forefront, so that your feelings are worth exploring, so work through them, be open. So what else is going on within you? So we know that spiritually there's a lot of energy, emotionally, so we've got awareness. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multi-dimensional world, so that we create a reality that we truly choose. I love that. So the awareness, and I think it's about being aware of where you're at and what the feeling is showing you. So yes, we're a part of this place, but we can choose how we react and how we connect and how we interact with what's going on in and around us. So again, awareness. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multi-dimensional world, so that we can create the reality we truly choose. So that awareness, that awareness that I'm here for a purpose. I know that I have something to do. I have much to say. I have a lot of feelings about things, and I want to express myself. So maybe it might be worth getting on a podcast, maybe just recording yourself speaking about how you feel, and I think you'll find, if you do publish it, you'll find that there's many people that resonate with what it is that you feel, although there's a nervousness around it. But then there is coming towards now, working through this energy, you're getting towards an awareness of what you can manage and what you can't. So if I push myself too far to this left, I'm going to burn out. I will implode. So you're getting awareness of yourself, the multi-dimensional world, what is going on, what's supporting you, and the things that are hindering you. So I'm glad that there is an awareness being formed through observing your feelings, because your feelings are indicators of actions to take. So let's see what's going on financially with the abundance angels. So we have words of abundance. So it says, you have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and this is what you will attract for yourself and others. Lovely. And I'll read it again. Words of abundance, group 2. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and this is what you will attract for yourself and others. I love that. So abundance angels saying, speak words of abundance, for yourself and for, the world, those around you. You want everybody to be okay. I feel like some of it might be some nerves around, the support that you feel that you have to give, what your reality is really going to look like. And I think when you start to actually really focus in on what you want and being very specific about it, you will see abundance just flowing in. And like it says, when you are intentional about what it is that you want and the words that you use, you will see that there is much change going on and much to look forward to. So although there is a low energy going on and it's like a bit of a fiery energy, I'm feeling a bit up, down, left and right, it's okay. You know, it's okay to work through those things. It's okay to work through those triggers. It's about you being aware of yourself, being aware of the areas that you need to work on, being aware of people, places and things that you need to just be like, yeah, let me just step out of this place. It's no longer serving me. You know, and that's the energy. But commanding the space by using your positive words of affirmation and words of abundance over your life and over your wider community and the world, you know. So I'm glad to see that. So let's see what is being activated within you, because we know that we're working through emotions, we're becoming aware, we're being told to, you know, speak words of abundance. And now let's see what's we're actually working towards as well. We've got cause and effect. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. Now, did I not just say that? When you are able to recognize the power of your words, being very intentional about what it is that you want, and you realize that actually your thoughts, the words that you say are very, very, very important. It's cause and effect. So I'll read it again. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. Okay, so allow yourself to work through your emotions. Write those things down, even if you've got to scream and shout about how you feel. And then get that words of abundance, what it is that you're calling in for the next phase of your life, you know, and that's the energy and that's the foundation of the results, you know. So I'm glad to see this here for you, group 2. And then we have discernment. That word has come up a lot, especially even for group 1 that came up as well. So I'm glad I'm seeing discernment, because I feel like in this particular time, this full moon has made me extremely discerning around when to speak, when not to speak, when to give space, when to take space for myself when I know that I'm a little bit too high towards 10 to be having any kind of communication at this moment. So yeah, there has been a lot of that. Yeah, so anyway, discernment. You are developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. Yes, people, yes. Because like I said, some of the emotions are just not facts. They're just how you feel in relation to triggers or in relation to perceptions that you have. You know, they could have been formed by other people, you know, and now you are working through these emotions, becoming really clear on what's coming up because you're observing. You know, you're being more aware of yourself and what's going on around you. Speaking words of abundance, you're realizing the cause and effect of your thoughts and the things that come out of your mouth. And then discernment here is what you get when you do all of those steps. It's like, yeah, I'm so much more clearer on what's real and what's not. You know, like it says, you have developed the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. I absolutely love that. So group 2, you are moving through some stuff. You are growing and developing. Give yourself some care. Give yourself something called TLC. Don't be so hard on yourself. All is well. Feel how you're feeling. There's a reason why you're feeling like that. It's giving you a nudge in the right direction. What's real, what isn't, you know, and what actions should you take to ensure you're taking care of yourself. I love that group 2. Big up yourselves. Much love. So, group 3, let's see what we got for you. Okay, group 3, so the energy that we've got for you is the first quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation. So, earth sign energy, you know, Virgos, those who are very detailed, they like to dot the I's and cross the T's. You know, they like to make sure things are in ordered fashion, that things are moving in the right direction. So when you're being told to assess the situation, you're being told to have a look at what's going on, what you're being called to do in this situation. Are you being called to make the first move? Are you being called to walk away? Are you being called to go within a bit more deeper than you have done? For some of you, I feel like you've been hiding away a little bit from the wider world. I think even hiding away from yourself, not really wanting to dig that much deep. And I think this whole assessing the situation is something that maybe that you don't want to do. You don't want to have to look at things for how they truly are. Because maybe for some of you it's quite painful to look at, you know, how things really are, and they're not possibly how you want them to be. However, assessing the situation allows you to become clear about what it is exactly that you do want. So you can note them down, you can be very intentional about what it is that you want to see, the characteristics of the person who you are becoming, the things that you need to do in order to be that person. So assess the situation. Is this right for me? You know, am I in the right place right now? Am I getting the best out of it? Am I getting, you know, the bang for my buck? You know, that kind of energy. So you know, assess the situation, you know, and that's what you're being told to, you know, to look at. You know, it almost feels as though your ancestors are really talking to you about going within, sitting calmly and quietly. Look at this, yeah? Calmly and quietly. Just resting, observing, seeing, you know. I love that. So what else do we have? We've got the 7th chakra. The energy of the crown chakra supports our feeling of being connected to a higher power and a part of the larger whole. The energy of the crown chakra supports our feeling of being connected to a higher power and a part of the higher whole and the larger whole. So again, assessing the situation, you know, like I said about that going within, you know, I think that quiet time is what you're called to do now. Connect to your higher self, connect to source divine in this time, recognizing that we are all connected to this larger whole, you know, this universal energy, and we have the power to affect situations in so many different ways, especially when we ask for assistance. I think sometimes when we're assessing situations and we're kind of going through the mind and the mind's playing tricks, or we're being too anal about details and not really giving ourselves enough time to fully immerse ourselves in just connection and surrendering to that divine support, and also sort of being open to that divine connection. The 7th chakra is our connection to source. You know, it's innate, but once we're very intentional and open to it, how wonderful and amazing it is, you know, to be connected that way and to be shown so much care and love and to be given messages and to be, you know, given support. It's a beautiful feeling, you know. So allow yourself to assess the situation, ask for that divine support, get some quiet time in, yeah, so that you can fully connect. And I feel like this full moon energy has very much so is calling you to get a bit more grounded and go within a bit more. I think it's more like, yeah, stay here. And don't be so quick to be outside of yourself. You know, and I feel like I said, for some of you, you have even retreated from the world. You're not really even socializing as much. And I feel like it's, you know, particularly because you're unsure about where you fit in the situation, whether this situation is actually sitting well with you. You know, and that could be work, you know, how things are going on in the household, the friendships that you have. Are you still feeling really optimistic about them? You know, are you still feeling that loving energy around that? And I think that's kind of what's going on with the energy as well. So be gentle with yourself in this time. So let's see what's going on with the abundance angels, what's going on with your finances, because we know that spiritually and emotionally you are assessing situations, you're being asked to connect the higher source, so that they can support you, and that you can ground yourself a bit more as well. So let's see what's going on with the abundance. We've got bountiful nature, lovely. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet. Meditate underneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. So again, bountiful nature will support you feeling comfortable, so that you can start making these actions, because you're assessing a situation. You're being told to quiet down and connect to source, and then you're being told that nature is one of the best ways to connect to that. And sit down in the silence, see what comes up. I think that's where the clarity comes up with work. You know, am I staying at this job? What more to add to my business? And all of these answers become so much more clearer when you're able to be open, when you're activating your 7th chakra, and you're like, right, you know, I'm activating my crown chakra. I want to continue to connect. I want to connect on a deeper level. I want support. And you're very intentional, and you're very open and earnest about that, and you take the advice. Sit down, you know, trust yourself and trust in the fact that there is divine support, and in the bountiful nature, that is where a lot of your answers and a lot of your release will happen. So there are going to be a lot of downloads, so definitely take heed to this one, and definitely go outside. I'm going to read it one more time. Spend time in bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps you shift to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree in the garden, sit underneath the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. I think it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's see what the activation is. What's going on, what's being activated within you. So it seems like there's a lot of connection, quiet time, coming to yourself. So I feel like this full moon is definitely one of going within. So the things that have come up, things that have been difficult, it's allowing you that space to connect to the highest source. Be gentle with yourself. Assess the situation. What's real, what isn't? What do I need to act upon? Going in nature, taking that time to decompress, to let the answers come through meditation. And the answers will come through how to deal with these situations. Because I think it's kind of grounded you a bit. I think the things that have come up over the full moon are things that have been present for some time, and you have, like I said, stepped back and haven't really looked at that. And I feel that that's why it's been illuminated to you in this time. So we have compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. And I think this is what you really want to do. I think this is what you're moving towards. I think the fact that you're assessing the situation, you're assessing who needs to stay and what needs to go. Okay, and you demonstrate this language of the heart by sharing, you know, and you want to live in love, and you want to have compassion for what's going on around you, for people, places and things. But sometimes assessing the situation means that you may just need to release that particular relationship, or create a peace around the situation, you know, create a level of acceptance, you know, and that's showing compassion. Acceptance for where people are, what they're doing, and why they're doing what they're doing, you know, will support you. Because I think sometimes it can be very frustrating, you know, with your loved ones, when you kind of just see them doing things that's less than productive or less than helpful, and you're just sort of like, oh. But sometimes showing compassion is sort of just letting people do what they've got to do, knowing that there's a reason why they've done what they need to do. Maybe it informs your actions, you know, and also maybe it was something that they needed for them, you know. So there is all of that kind of energy going on, but I feel like it's a lot to do with those around you. And I think you connecting to source more, meditating and journaling a lot more, and being very frank and open is definitely going to support you with that compassion to yourself first and foremost, and then to the wider community. And then lastly, we've got freedom. You are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. I love that. So we are moving through a lot of stuff at group 3, you know, being told to assess the situation, you know, become observant, you know, note things down, become, you know, aware of the situation, you know, connect to source. That is where your power and your strength resides, you know, with that extra support. You are a part of this great tapestry. Tap into it, use it, use the nature, yeah, use nature and the boundless beauty of it to sit down and to connect with source, to become grounded, to receive your downloads, you know, and that will help with your compassion, you know, help you how to, you know, decide how you're going to move forward, who is staying and who's leaving, essentially. So we've got freedom. You are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations with a loving energy of openness. I absolutely love that. So we're moving through some great things. Healing is taking place on such a huge level. Be kind to yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, because you are moving through things. And for some of you, you're moving through these things without any, like, intentional support. You haven't asked for, you know, specific support. You've just been riding the waves, and yeah, you know, you do your thing. You're strong enough, you know, but it can be the light. You can lighten the load. It doesn't have to be so rough, and you don't actually have to do it on your own. So I'm loving the fact that there's freedom to release any self-imposed limitations or any kind of things that just don't serve, you know, by being compassionate with yourself, you know, stepping out in nature, you know, connecting to source, you know, and being confident in yourself that you can assess a situation, look at what needs to be dealt with, and work towards doing that. So I think it's wonderful, the work that's going on. Be gentle with yourself. Much love, okay? Group 3, big up yourself. Okay, so that has been the readings. If there's anything that resonates, please put a comment down. Please like, share, subscribe and comment. Hit the notification bell so you'll be up to the time when the readings land. And for your personal readings, all the information is in the description box below. Take care, my lovelies. Blessings.